The off-season rumor mill. It's like the Wild West. You're never sure what to believe. You got rumors flying everywhere. Sometimes you get hit with one square in the face, knocks you on your butt, calls you Sally. Well, guess what, folks? That happened to me today. Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome in if this is your first time to the channel. I'm Josh. This is the Hockey Flow, and today it's Monday, August 8th, 2022. That's right. Happy Monday, folks. Thanks for joining me. I tell you what, I got a doozy for you today. We've been talking about Nazem Kadri a lot, right? The New York Islanders, they're going to sign him. Well, here's a new one for you. What if the New York Islanders traded Mat Barzal to the Detroit Red Wings just to make cap space to sign Nazem Kadri? Well, according to the Hockey News and the excellent Lyle Richardson, that's exactly what folks are talking about. We got to break it down on another edition of Today in Hockey. But before we get to that, we got to get through Today in Hockey history, and then we'll get to our headlines. And I tell you what, Bruins fans, you guys should be pumped. The headlines are all about you guys today, but we'll get to that in just a moment as well. Then we're going to get into it. Our article deep dive, like I said, it's back. And again, we're heading to the Hockey News. We got a new author for us, the excellent Lyle Richardson. All this stemmed from a tweet, a simple tweet. So stick around for that. If you do enjoy the content, take a moment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps us out a ton. We're just getting started, but we're going to keep bringing you hockey videos every single day. Definitely make sure you don't want to miss one. Today in hockey history, on this date, August 8th in 1972, the Atlanta Flames would announce Keith McCreary as their first ever captain. He would go on to wear the C for the next 3 seasons before retiring in 1975. Good for him. Good for him. Headlines, headlines, headlines. Like I said, Boston Bruins fans, it's all about you guys today. Patrice Bergeron signs a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with the team. He's back, baby. Who else? David Krejci signs 1-year, $1 million deal with team. There was a $2 million bonus on there as well. And I tell you what, you guys should be pumped just from a sentimental standpoint, but also from a hockey standpoint. Patrice Bergeron won the Selke last year, probably had his best season analytically of his career. And David Krejci, he was no slouch last season either, played overseas, but this offseason we caught some games him playing with the Czech Republic, and David Pastrnak has to just be over the moon. I tell you what, that's just so neat. Now all they got to do is bring back Sagan and Chara, and the boys will be back, all of them. But it's neat to see. I don't know what this is actually going to do for the team. They've got some other issues going on, some injury concerns as well, but still neat to see, and glad to see Bergeron back. All right, here we go. Article of the day. Tell you what, this is a doozy. Every now and then you run into something that just stops you in your tracks. This is one of those things. I'm looking through the articles, trying to find something to break down today, and I stumble across this. Could the Islanders trade Mat Barzal to make room for Nazem Kadri? And again, this is coming to us from the excellent Lyle Richardson. First article we've taken a look at of his, but it was a good one, and I look forward to reading more of his stuff in the future. But here we go. So broke it down for us. Essentially, Barzal out, Kadri in. What are we talking about? In all this Nazem Kadri talk, we've been speculating, where's he going to sign? When's he going to sign? And the Islanders have been at the forefront of those discussions, but within all of that, I never once thought of trading Mat Barzal. And that, according to one gentleman, Boston Hockey Now's Jimmy Murphy, that's what he's suggesting. So this was a tweet that Boston Hockey Now's Jimmy Murphy sent out. He suggested that the Islanders should cut ties now, send Barzal to the Detroit Red Wings for some prospects. Don't get me wrong, Detroit has some excellent young prospects, right? Send him to Detroit, and then they should sign Nazem Kadri at a lower figure than what Barzal would re-sign for. Okay, so more backstory to it. Mat Barzal is going to be a restricted free agent next season, so he'll be one more year closer to being an unrestricted free agent. There have not been talks between Barzal and the Islanders on extending his contract or a new contract, and that's coming from a colleague of Mr. Jimmy Murphy's. So again, this is something where it's not just blind speculation, right? We're not here to waste your time. There is actually a little bit of an instance where there's smoke. There may actually be fire. The other big piece of this is Nazem Kadri remains unsigned, right? Now, Mat Barzal has said all the right things. He said in his exit interview at the end of the season, heck yeah, I want to be back. I want to play. I want to be a New York Islander for life. He said all the right things. I believe him, right? Like, why would you not want to play in New York? I mean, not me personally, but for him, he seems to enjoy it. But At the end of the day, is he just saying that? So Nazem Kadri still remains unsigned as well, right? We just mentioned it. I did see an article today talking about he's wanting $9 million still. My goodness, $9 million. So, well, let's talk about that just for a moment. If he did sign for $9 million, I don't. That's not much of a savings then, because Mat Barzal, even on the open market, well, what's he getting? 10. Jonathan Huberdeau just got 10.5. I know Barzal's younger, but look at Barzal's stats. I did post them here, and his highest goal tally. I apologize if it's a little small, couldn't fit the graphic, but his highest goal tally was in his sophomore season. He put up 22 goals. Right? 18, 19, 17, and then 15 this most recent season. I get it. We've had some injury concerns, COVID, all that stuff. But 82-game season, puts up 22 goals, 63 assists is excellent. And especially if you're playing in the center, right? You want to set people up as well. But, man, $10.5 million for Huberdeau, right? Kadri wants $9 million. Are we paying Barzal $9 million tomorrow? If he's a free agent on the market right now, are you paying him $10 million? Probably, right? A lot of it you also pay for what could be. If he puts everything together, turns it on, hits that next level, my goodness, watch out. But why would the Islanders do this? Why are we even having this conversation? Well, there's a little bit of a history here, right? But essentially, the Islanders need to decide if Barzal is a part of their future. If they haven't had talks yet, do they really feel that strongly about him as their first-line centerman moving forward? But again, you can't have another John Tavares situation, though. Like I said, they have a little bit of a history with this where you had someone leave for absolutely nothing, and that is the worst. Flames fans, you guys just went through it, and I can't imagine that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, and you guys, technically in a hockey sense, are my worst enemy. But I wouldn't wish that on you guys, and you went through it. Now, luckily, you had the Matthew Tkachuk situation play out well. You were able to regain some assets, some good assets, and they wanted to commit long term. But in this scenario, the Islanders don't have a Matthew Tkachuk that they can trade and get more assets for if Barzal leaves. Sure, maybe one of these players turns the corner and they do have another budding superstar. But right now, as this roster is put together, I don't see a superstar in his Matthew Barzal superstar. I think he's up there. But again, you just can't have another John Tavares situation where you get absolutely nothing. So they need to sort this out one way or the other. But is the return of young players, and Detroit has some excellent, good young talent, is the return of young players combined with Kadri, would that be a win? You let me know in the comments, Islanders fans, excuse me. I don't know. When I think about it, I want Mat Barzal. If anything, I want to supplement him as my leader. If anything, I'll kick him out to the wing and let Nazem Kadri own the center position. But at the end of the day, he's still a cornerstone to my franchise. I need him there. Now, from the Red Wings perspective, Dylan Larkin and Tyler Bertuzzi are unrestricted free agents next summer. So do they want to stay? Do they want to be in Detroit? It seems like it, right? Why wouldn't you? It's in some ways a hockey mecca. In a lot of ways, maybe not recently, but man, those Avalanche Red Wings series, they're ingrained in my brain, right? Growing up, so maybe they do want to stay. But so far, we don't have official word on that. So from the Red Wings perspective, bring in a young Mat Barzal. He's 25. He could be the face of your franchise moving forward. You already got Mo Seider in the back. You got a few more of those kids. You're probably not going to trade the entire farm for him, right? It's not like we're trading for a 50-goal scorer here. So from a Detroit standpoint, why not? If you can't get Dylan Larkin or Tyler Bertuzzi, if you can't get them to commit, or if you don't think they're the ones to help this team turn the corner, why not bring in Mat Barzal? But at the end of the day, Lyle Richardson does tell us that there are better options to clear space, and I agree 1,000%. Heck, that's why I think this article is so great, because we came back to reason. It gets wild out here in the off season, but I agree. There are better options to clear space. We want to bring Mat Barzal. We got to keep him in, right? We got to keep him in there if you're an Islanders fan. But what do we think of this, guys? Are the rumors getting too wild? Should Mat Barzal, should the Islanders trade him, make room, bring Kadri in? What sort of weird rumors do you guys want to see? I do appreciate you. This is always so much fun. Thank you guys again. Until tomorrow, cheers.